G'day and welcome to Wine Week. I'm Dan.
And I'm Brad.
And this week I'm going to start with a hand grenade of a little wine. Now, it looks like a hand grenade, just bottle shape. It's powerful. This is the JMK fortified shiraz from Koleski. Now, we've done a bunch of Koleski wines over the duration, and there's one big reason for that, and that is because, without exception, they're all bloody good wines. This, at about $25, is a brilliant little bugger. Look, it is a fortified wine, so it's like a port. It's not called a port, but VP on the end probably gives you an idea, vintage port. There's really old kind of brandy bits in there, really new brandy bits in there, great Shiraz grapes in there that come from the same sort of plot that the Greenock Shiraz that we've reviewed before go to make. This is an absolute brilliant little wine, and look, last week we talked about our Tokay and about how that's a great one for the cold nights. But in the States, you're coming up to Labor Day weekend where a lot of people go camping. And look, what better way to sit around a campfire at night at the end of a camping trip and open up a vintage port style like this. And this one, sweet, brilliant, still bright, just lovely. So hook into that, the JMK.
Yeah, look, and it looks like a little medicine bottle, so if you haven't had your medicine recently, get it stuck into this and it'll fix you right up.
It certainly would.
I'm going to have a look at now our bargain of the week, and this is a red wine from a producer that we've had a bit of a look at before. This is Mike Press, and this is his fairly recently released 2006 Cab Sav. Now, Mike Press has been getting a lot of press himself recently, and for one good reason as well, and this is the price. These wines, he's committed to making these fantastic wines at the lowest possible price. How low, I hear you ask? Well, he sells them direct from the winery for about $10 a bottle. Retailers, you'd be hard pressed to find one selling it for over $14, $15 a bottle. And look, for what you're getting here, the quality, without exception, across his range is fantastic. And they're all about the same price. He does a very good Merlot, a very good Shiraz. We just happened to pick up the Cab Sav this time because we wanted to give it a try. And look, hats off to him. He's worked in some of the big producers over the years, went out on his own, set up his own winery, and he's producing remarkably good value wines in the last couple of years. So you'd be silly not to go out, buy a dozen, $120 for a dozen, you'd be silly not to.
Yeah, it's a quaffer that is well above the kind of dollar range that it sits at. Just remarkable. Anyhow, the last one we're going to have a look at this week is starting to push the dollars up. This is the Toolangi Estate Chardonnay. Look, the Toolangi Estate Chardonnay is the very first Chardonnay we ever did on Wine Week. Now, back more than a year and a half ago when we did this, two vintages back, it was around about $35, and I said to you all, make sure you get on the bandwagon before the prices go up because they're just remarkably good wines. And sure enough, true to form, the prices have gone up. This is sitting close to the $50 mark now. It's still bloody good value. This really does punch right at the very top end of Australian Chardonnays, and this is just their mid-range fellow. But at $50, look, still, get on the bandwagon now before these are $70 and $80 a bottle, because that's what's going to happen over the next couple of years. Grab some, stick them down, drink them now, toasty, buttery, kind of almondy notes on there, just beautiful oak, fresh at the same time. That is an absolute cracker of a wine.
Yeah, and it is an example of the new style of Chardonnay that's not too heavy on the oak, but really well balanced.
Yeah, it certainly is. Anyhow, that's it for this week on Wine Week. Stuff we've kind of looked at the same people before, but all really, really worth looking at again. So we'll see you all again next week.
See you next week.